I did not want to record today. I really didn't. I was telling my grandmother, I was like, yeah, I got to like 3,000 subscribers, but like, I don't know what it is. Like my videos are not getting a lot of views, and I'm like, I'm still, pushing out my content, posting videos, but I'm like, dang, like, I'm not really getting a lot of movement. And my grandmother was like, well, like, you have faith and you believe in God, and you know that God is your Lord and Savior, right? And I was like, yeah, of course. And she was like, okay, well, she's like, all you have to do is continue to post, continue to speak on what God is telling you to speak about, and continue to put it on your page, and you will be surprised what will happen to your numbers and what will happen to your channel. So after she said that, that really spoke to my spirit, and I was like, okay, so maybe she's right, you guys, because I told you guys, when things start to get hard, the person that I used to be, I used to just give up, like, whatever, like, it's never, ever going to happen. So how about I just go ahead and just stop everything now. So like, that's the type of person that I was, but I'm learning that, like, anything that you want, like anything that's worth having, like, it's really, really, really worth fighting hard for, you know what I mean? So after she told me that, like, for some reason, I don't know, that just really stuck with me. So I'm here today. I didn't have the best of day yesterday, but I was able to go and work out, pray. I prayed a lot all yesterday. So when I'm not feeling right, or when something's heavy on me, I pray and pray and pray and pray and pray until I feel better. My mom used to tell me all the time, she's like, you need to pray until you feel better, until you feel your spirit, your mood shift. Like, until you feel that, like, continue to pray, continue to talk to God. So I was talking about all yesterday. And then I got up early in the morning today and I went to a workout. Now, I haven't been wanting to work out at all, but I did that too. So like I said, like, yesterday wasn't a good day, but today is a better day, and I prayed and I'm feeling better today. A little bit tired, but I'm here. Something that I've been dealing with though, you guys, is, and I'm not going to make this video long, but it's just when it comes to my past. I don't know if anybody else needs to hear this, because my past is not squeaky clean, okay? Like, I was young, did some things, never have regrets in my life, never that, but done some things that God spared me, and God really pulled me out of some situations, right? So when you look back in my life and you look at certain things that I went through, certain things that I've done, certain situations, it does not look pretty, right? It does not look pretty. When people come up to me and they're talking to me, and then they say, oh wow, like, you sound different, or like, you talk different, or like, what's going on? Because the old my show wouldn't have said that. The old my show, like, are you faking? Do you know how, I was on Plus, do you know how, like, a slap, it's like that, when somebody tells me that, are you faking your growth? Are you faking that you're changing? It's like a spit in the face. It's like they got water and just spit it in my face. Like, that's what it feels like. That's a big slap in the face to me. So that irritates me when I see people that have not talked to me in years, have not seen me in years, you guys. I told you guys, I don't really get on social media like that. I'm active on my YouTube channel. But when people come up and they tell me, like, stuff like that, like, it really, really rubs me the wrong way. Or when I'm talking to people and they're talking to me as if I'm that person that I was 10, 15 years ago. I don't live there anymore. So I know that it seems far-fetched that somebody that was once on drugs can get off drugs and live a sober life. I know it seems far-fetched that somebody can not be faithful in a relationship but turn their life over to God and no longer cheat. I know it's far-fetched that somebody can constantly get in trouble, in and out of juvenile, in and out of prison, in and out of jail, right? Just a delinquent and just living a reckless life, has a horrible record, but then it clicks one day and God helps them turn their life around, and now they're on the right track. They got a great paying job. They're saying about their family. They don't get in trouble anymore. They're not hanging out with the wrong people. I know that seems far-fetched, right? I know that if you were out in the street wild, dating everybody, sleeping with everybody, just living a wild partying life, but then you turn your life around and you're like, look, I don't party, I don't drink, I don't do drugs, I don't do none of that stuff. I don't, I'm practicing celibacy, and I gave my life over to God. I got baptized. That seems far-fetched, right? But when you've seen God do the impossible, you believe the impossible. When it comes to my life, right? Like I told you guys, I used to be a little wild and a little hot tempered. You know what I mean? Making irrational decisions. Most likely when my dad died, that's when my life just took a big turn. Because when it comes to my dad, you guys, that's something that I'm dealing with every day. I was tearing up, crying about it this morning. It's like, living life after somebody dies is like a painful experience, and it's like you just have to keep going. You just have to just deal with it every day, even though you wake up and it still feels so surreal. You gotta find the strength each day to work through it, right? So that's something that I'm working through. But when I had that loss, that was a big loss, and like I said, my life completely turned around when my dad died. So for the great grace of God, I was able to pull myself together, right? And I was able to sit down with God and really start going to church every Sunday, and really start praying, and really start sorting my life out. Because like I said, my life was a mess, right? But I'm the type of person that my past, I'm not ashamed of anything, right? Anything that I've done, anything that happened to me in my life, I'm not ashamed of it. It is what it is. But we're living in the now, right? But I don't like when people try to put me back in the past and tell me, wow, like the way you conversated, like it's just the way you are. I'm not used to that. I'm used to the cuss in my show. I'm used to the my show that's just wild. And I'm just used to the my show that doesn't spare anybody feelings. That just says whatever comes to her mind. I'm just used to the my show that just provocative. Now listen, I understand that's the person you're used to, but I'm not that person anymore. So I cannot talk to people in my past that thinks that I'm there, because I'm not there. And I am not my past. Bringing up that whole horse crap. Because I don't want to cuss. I told y'all God delivered me from cussing, and I've been doing great with the grace of God. And bringing up all these things that are not of God. Like I said, I don't have any regrets, but is there some things that happened in my life that I'm not proud of? Most definitely. You know what I mean? Is there some things that like I have to bring up that happened in my past that can bring a little bit of shame in my life? Yes, most definitely. But like I said, my life is a testimony, and God has changed me, right? And God has changed me. Like I said, when I'm talking to y'all right now, and the person that I am right now, when I was that 19-year-old girl looking in the mirror trying to figure it out, the person that I am now, that's the person that I saw in the mirror. Let me say that again. The person that I am now, that 19-year-old girl that was lost, that 19-year-old girl that had no guidance, that 19-year-old girl that was out in the world, that 19-year-old girl that gave up on God, that 19-year-old girl that didn't pray no more, that 19-year-old girl that didn't care what happened in her life, that 19-year-old girl that was around people that she had no business being around, that 19-year-old girl that was doing things that she had no business being around, that 19-year-old girl that was confused, that 19-year-old girl that was depressed, that 19-year-old girl that was not protected as a child, that 19-year-old girl that suffered through bullying, that 19-year-old girl that was always called weird, a weirdo, right? That 19-year-old girl that was looking in the mirror and was looking in the mirror and was like, look, I see your potential self, and I know what you're going to be in 10 years. It may seem really far now, but I see you. That same woman that I imagined and knew that one day I will be is the same woman that I am right now, looking at you guys and talking to you guys. I looked in the mirror, I was like, I'm tired of my life. I don't want to cuss no more. I don't want to be around friends that, just live for the moment. I don't want to be around friends that are into wild stuff, that abuses drugs. You know what I mean? I don't want to be around friends that cannot be trusted. I don't want to be in that type of environment. And I knew for a fact when I was in that world and I was doing that person that I was and the way I was acting, I knew that that's not who God wanted me to be. A person who cursed, a person that did not carry herself as a woman with integrity. I knew that that's not who God wanted me to be. Sitting back and watching me do these videos, or sitting back and watching me talk to you guys, if you guys would have seen me record, if I would have made a YouTube channel 10 years ago, that would have been a hot mess, and I would have been probably more embarrassed. But I wish I would have, because you guys would have seen how much God has grown in my life, right? So when people say like, oh man, that person said that they don't do drugs no more, I don't believe that. I do. When that woman said that she gave herself to God and now she's just not going to be giving herself to every man, people don't believe that. I do. When people say that they don't smoke weed or they don't pop Molly, they don't do weed no more, right? And they really, Christ just took over. People don't believe that, but I do. Why? Because I've seen God do the impossible in my life, so I know for a fact that He can do the impossible impossible in somebody else's life. I'm not gonna let nobody hold my past over my head. I'm not gonna allow nobody to try to say that my growth is fake because it's not. And I'm not gonna allow somebody to tell me that they don't like the person that I am now. They think it's weird. They like the fun, outgoing, wild my shows. I didn't care about nothing person. I'm not that person. I am not my past. And it's not too late to turn your life over. It's not too late to do positive things. It's not too late to turn your life over to God. It's not too late to do the things that you felt like you should have did in your 20s that passed you by. It's not too late to go back and try to grab and do those things. It's not too late. It's really not too late. Me saying the N-word, me just using profanity all the time, every other sentence, that's God don't talk like that. I'm not gonna talk like that. And I don't want my daughter to hear stuff like that. I want to be the person that my daughter wants to be. That's what I want. I want to be a person that my daughter, I can sit here and tell my daughter, look, I am a representation of what a woman should be. A mentally strong person. And the good thing about it is that I know a lot of people will be like, oh my gosh, my past, like, it was just so bad. Honestly, a lot of things, I'm able to put it in perspective now, but a lot of things it was really hard for me to look back on. But I would not change anything the way my life was. I wouldn't change it. My past gave me strength. My past allowed me to believe in God more. My past allowed me to believe in myself more. That little insecure little girl that everybody thought was weird, I embrace that little girl. I protect that little girl. I hug that little girl. And I tell that little girl, there's nothing wrong with you. The way you talk, the way you act, the way you interact, your spirit, the way you are, the way you're built, everything about your voice. God made you that way because he needed you to be that way. Because on the path that he's putting you on, the way you are, that's what you need on the path where he's taking you. And people are always telling me all the time, you guys, oh, you're not dainty, you're too masculine. You listen, if you've been through the things that I've been through, you will understand why I am the way that I am. And people tell me that all the time. People hear my story and they talk to me, they be like, dang, like, so that's why. That explains your past. That's why who you are. Now I get it. You see people that feel like they gotta defend themselves all the time and feel like they're angry and all that stuff. Talk to them. And when you hear their story, that was justified. Or when you hear people that don't like confrontation, quiet, don't speak up, scared to speak up, listen to their story. You will see why they behave in that manner. You don't know why somebody is the way they are until you heard their life story. The things I went through in my life, I had no choice but to be tough. I had no choice but to suck it up. I had no choice but to take life on the chin. I had no choice but to get up and put tears behind me. Not saying that that's the healthiest way, but the stuff I've been through in my life, that is what was required. That is what was required out of me to get through the stuff that I've been through. Like when I say I got it out the mud, or when people try to make it seem like, oh, like I've always been there for you. Look, the only person that's been there for me fully is God and myself. Like that's it. The person that pulled myself out of dark past and dark times and everything is myself. And at the end of the day, I've been in a position where I feel like I had everybody, and come to find out I had nobody. When you're in positions like that, that's when you learn how to stand on your own and how to stand with God. All the people I thought were my friends, all the people that I thought that would be my ride or dies and be there forever, I had to lose them in order to stand and get closer with God. Those were distractions. Everything in my life, everything that was going on, for me to get closer to God, I had to remove it. I had to remove it. So me standing here as a woman that I am, I don't regret nothing. My past is the reason why I am the way I am, but I'm not going to let nobody sit here and say that my growth is fake, because it's not. My growth is because of God. My growth is because God kept trying to search and find me, and I found my way back to God, back to Christ. My growth is not fake. And I'm not gonna let nobody sit here and disrespect me. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't address me as the owner of my show. This is the my show. The way I am, my well-being, the way I talk and everything, that's just God. I can't even explain it to you. But God can do the impossible. And don't let nobody hold nothing over your head. I'm telling you. I don't care if you're a prostitute. I don't care if you're a crackhead, a drughead. I don't care if you had a cheating problem. I don't care if you had any sort of addiction. God can deliver you from it. And when he does, stick to that. And don't let nobody take it from you.